You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here, hanging with you guys. Good morning. We're bringing the energy. Kory and I were just ranting. We're talking about our wins, talking about our losses, dealing with frustrations. We're bringing some energy here on today's podcast. Every time I get on the phone with Kory, I feel like I talk twice as fast and my blood pressure goes up 25%. I don't know what the hell it is, Kory, but you're a freaking alpha dude. You're a winner. A lot of great stuff going on. Perficut, Ballard Products, building the shop. You're taking your kid across the country, racing all over the place, dude. Liz and I are always like, dude, like that's winning at the highest level, being able to give your kids the best opportunities in life, man. It's so freaking cool. Thanks for taking just a few minutes on the show today. I got a hard cutoff in 20 minutes. We're going to do the best we can. But, man, I was like, hey, Kory, you're always like my go-to, man. Give me a pulse of the spring. Like, what are you guys seeing out there? What's going on in your companies? I just always enjoy getting around you, and you fire me up, man. So how you been, and what's new with the show, bro?
Doing good, buddy. I didn't realize, in all fairness, whoever's listening, I didn't realize you were taping earlier, so we were kind of, hopefully you can cut that up. I think I was dropping some F-bombs, and we were just kind of ranting about what's going on in the world, and your home, being built, and our building being built, and, just the frustration with contractors. But, hey, the sun's out, business is good, and, we're finally getting out there working outdoors, and Ballard Products is crazy busy with orders. We were up 17% in March, which was really nice.
That's
and
awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited, and Perficut's out going, and we actually got a pretty early start this year. We had a mild winter, like I think a lot of areas, and then so we got an early start on remulching and cutbacks and cleanups, and we've been cutting grass now. So today's the 10th or 9th, April 9th, and so we started cutting grass. I think just a few into last week, but all the crews went out yesterday on Monday, and so man, I always love that time of year when all the trucks are going out and everybody's excited again, and grass is green and birds are chirping, and of course dandelions are starting to pop. But
yeah,
so things are good here. We're excited about a new year, and excited to get in our new facility. Especially, we are absolutely just completely out of room. You were here even last summer sometime, and it's if you thought it was a mess then, it's even getting worse. And so we're certainly excited about the new facility, and got a bunch of new products that we're working on as well, and excited about those. But we're a few things are just a little bit on hold, just because we have to have the capacity to bring them in and be able to store them and be able to ship them and take care of our customers. So I've kind of slowed down a little bit for me, which is still about 110 miles an hour, but I've slowed down a little bit where I'm like, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So let's just make sure we get it right. Yeah.
No, dude, I love it. Like, you're always one of my folks. I'm like, if I'm ever feeling down, I'm thinking, like, what would Kory Ballard do right now? Like, he would be like, dude, stop being a little bee, wake up, let's go, and let's get moving. And it's kind of how it is right now. It's go mode back here in spring in Michigan for us. We've actually had the crummiest weather, probably kind of fumbling the bag getting started here with my business because we were sick for 6 to 8 weeks, just ridiculousness. Switching over to LMN, which has been the biggest blessing that I've had in my company in recent memory, in terms of like growing the company, working on the business, not just in the business kind of deal. But it's also like, I kind of wish I was doing it in December, January versus February, March, April, so that's been a cluster in a good way though. Like, we've been getting better prices, more approvals on the work that we are bidding correctly, losing some that are, bad price. Most of them are residential anyway, so we can always replace those or make room for bigger commercial sites, which is what I'm looking for anyway. So we've actually had a crazy start to the spring. The weather's been horrible here, man. Like rain, sleet. It was snowing the other day. I'm like, it's April 5th or something. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? So
we had that same thing. We had like an inch of snow, and then, of course it was gone. But it was like 40 some. We had a really good weather in March, and then it just for like 2 weeks straight, just rainy, snowy, cold. It seems like I don't know. I don't remember it being this windy all the time. It's so freaking windy. You go outside and it's miserable. But congrats on the software change. I only say that because so many people We're an ambassador for Jobber, whether it's LMN, Jobber, any software, but everyone's like, it's going to be a nightmare. I can't do it. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. It's going to be tough, but I promise you, if you put in a great software,
yep,
you'll look back. We've changed software 5 or 6 times over maybe a 20-year period. And every time it's certainly tough. You got to have some, good support around you and make sure that they're going to back you up and have the time to really put in. But man, every single time, once we get going, we always look back and say, like, what were we doing?
Right.
Why did we wait so long?
How did we do it?
So I'm glad you did it. Yeah. I'm like, what were we doing before?
There's no doubt about that. I'm beyond pumped up. I know you guys have ran, like you said, a couple of different softwares with your companies. And I actually had a customer that I was doing a cleanup with the guys. And he came out, the owner of the business, small like machine shop, kind of small business, a lot of those things around where we live. And the guy came out. I'm like, hey, sorry for taking so long to get out here and get that quote approved. We're switching softwares. And the guy, he's 60 years old. He goes, software. He goes, you don't have to say anything more. He goes, it's the hardest thing to implement, but the best thing to ever happen to a company if you use it. And he goes, and he's like, some 70-year-old guy. Can't, he won't,
he gets it.
Yeah, he'll never retire kind of dude. He doesn't want to. Great guy. He's got about 20 people that he employs, plus or minus, best I can tell. But he's like, you know what? He goes, it's the best thing you'll ever do. He goes, make sure you use it and use it to its fullest capacity. He goes, people get software thinking this is the stuff he's telling me. He's not a grass cutting dude. He's like, if everybody thinks it's a silver bullet, he goes, but you got to use it. You got to use it to its fullest capacity. And he's like, so good for you. He goes, it sounds like you guys are you guys are growing. And he goes, we've seen you grow. And I was like, yeah, dude, thank you. Like, it just felt like, it's always nice getting attaboys from people in the industry, but it's always nice when you talk to other business owners and like, no, you guys are doing it right. It sounds like you guys are on the grow. I'm like, thanks, bro. Like, we're trying, we're doing our best, man. We don't have it all figured out. So it is really encouraging in that regard.
Absolutely.
Dude, I was going to say, little update here. A lot of you guys know Kory. I'd say he's one of like the, it's really hard to like say like he's an industry insider because it sounds so large and grandiose and pretentious almost in some regards. But at the same point, like there's a couple like big dog guys that I really respect their opinion of in the industry. And some of the folks that I get access to and, making new friends every day, these, shop tours have been opening up doors. And a lot of you guys know, other leaders in the industry. And I'm like, I've never even heard of this dude, but he's been around for 40 years and he's changed the way bidding and estimating is done or, overhead recovery. And I'm like learning all these things as we continue to grow and learn ourselves. And so, Kory, I would definitely put you in as one of those, industry insiders. You had a great company. You guys sold off a couple years ago. A lot of people know that story. One thing I wanted to ask is what has it been like focusing on, the Ballard Products brand? A lot of you guys know the Brian's 10 code. I don't think too many people really went down that road too much asking you that question. You had two businesses, and they say if you chase 2 rabbits, you get none. So what has it been like, that journey the last 6-7 years? That was something I was just going to touch base with you on is people are buying their blades, their oils, their Catch Pros. You guys actually have inventory and you guys are stocked up versus your local dealer might not have blades on this crap. And guys, it's not a pitch or anything like that for Ballard. It's really cool to see Kory grow another company doing millions and millions and millions of dollars in sales. So what has that been like for you guys the last couple of years? Like you said, you're moving into a brand new HQ that looks like a mini Amazon fulfillment warehouse. So talk to me, brother. How's it going?
Exmark mowers were born to deliver legendary reliability, signature cut quality, and stubborn durability that refuses to give in. Because, like you, Exmark mowers were built for this. And there's never been a better time to save big on Exmark mowers. So hurry into your local dealer.
It's fantastic. It's your point, Brian. I was, when I was president at Perficut and, had been doing that business for a long time. And I've told this story, but I'll give you the short version because I know we don't have a lot of time. But, I think it was 2017 and I was, doing Perficut and Ballard and Ballard was much smaller, no employees at the time. And,
oh, okay.
And that was 2017. And, I felt like, I wasn't giving either one of them 100%. And I don't like to be like that. I felt like I wasn't truly adding value to Perficut. And I had this thing in me that, with Ballard, I was either going to shut it down, which I'm glad I didn't, but I was either going to shut it down or I was going to focus on it. So, I had some conversations with Matt Bowman, who was my partner, and you actually had him on the podcast, which was phenomenal, and hopefully you can get him back on again. But
we're lining up for a part 2. He's on the calendar. We're going to make it happen. Yep.
Fantastic. And so I just said, hey, Matt, I think I need to step away. I don't think it's fair. And, I'm going to focus on Ballard. And, that was 2017. And, we had, good products, and, I'm like, man, there's a need out there. And at the time we started toying with social media and of course Facebook and looking at some marketing. And, it's been a really crazy, fun ride. I really enjoy the process, and, we've expanded our product line immensely and just continue to add new products. We've probably got 10 or 12 new things that are either in the final stages or prototype stages. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. Super excited about our new facility. It's really nice, certainly nicer than we probably need, but that's kind of how I do things. And, I really think it'll bring up the morale of our team. We only have, I think there's 13 of us now. And so it's still a small company from the size of employees, but, we're currently shipping, about 600 to 800 products a day right now, which is,
wow. That's awesome.
It's exciting. Yeah. And so, I get a lot of enjoyment out of, trying to create new products and then testing them and trying to figure out, okay, how can we make this better? And we certainly don't always get it right. We came out with our own blocker, and we've on version 2 of that. And we're still finding some hiccups in there because there's so many different machines out there, and how do we make it accommodate all of them and make it universal, and then also make it where guys can install it properly. And, there's new mowers coming out constantly. So we're always chasing our tail a little bit with that, especially with the mower blade business. And, but yeah, it's been really exciting. I enjoy it. We've got a great team, and I talk about that a lot. Like, I don't do none of this stuff ever happened on my own. I just try to surround myself with great people, that are smarter than me, that are focused. I let them do their thing. I try to be the visionary, and, I'm again, me well enough to know, and if our listeners have heard me, like, I'm going 100 miles an hour. So I create a lot of chaos. Sure. So I've got to keep people around me that kind of corral it a little bit. And sometimes say, hey, you know what, that's a cool idea, but why don't we just get these other 2 or 3 things done first?
Sure.
But yeah, so we're excited, and, we appreciate all the people using Brian's 10. We appreciate all the people that order from us. And it feels like the momentum's changed a little bit. I don't feel like, we've talked about this a million times, but we don't seem to be getting the hate we were getting. We still have it out there with social media, and that's just part of the unfortunate part of the world that we live in today.
Right.
A lot of, it seems like there's people just seem more positive. And, we do our podcast called The Green Grind, where we try to get good guests on. And, I'm always just trying to give back. I meet a couple people a week for coffee that have small businesses here in the same industry. And I'm always trying to help these young guys that are just starting up on, how can they, start a lawn care business, and what should they focus on? And, I do a ton of free consulting for guys. So if you're hearing this, I'm not always available, but anytime somebody local says, hey man, can I get you for coffee? I'm like 6:30 tomorrow. And I spend time with guys, and I love talking about our business and sharing my journey. And if I can save them just a few headaches or make them just a little bit better at their business, man, that's what it's all about. I've had a good run, and we've had a lot of fun doing it. And we've certainly made a ton of mistakes over the years. And so I feel like if I can help guys, because man, when we were growing, it just really wasn't, I didn't have those resources.
Right.
I didn't have access to the people that were willing to share. We certainly didn't have the information online. We didn't have the podcast. And so, for us, we just had to kind of learn it the hard way. And so anytime I can help guys and jump on a podcast and talk about our industry, and, I love doing that. And, at the end of the day, I want everybody to win. I'm not a jealous guy. I just want people to kick ass. I want people to do well in their business. I want them to make money. I want them to make a profit. I want them to take care of their people and, spend time with their family. And you mentioned, like, for me, the ultimate gift in all this is freedom. I get to spend a lot of time with my son racing, and, people, I get this a lot, Brian, must be nice.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. Well, it took 30 years to get to must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, there was so many years there where we worked crazy hours and made no freaking money. Just really modest salaries and put in crazy hours. And, And, today I get to enjoy that hard work a little bit more and enjoy the benefits of that, I should say.
No, it always gives me encouragement listening to guys like yourself, Troy Clark, the Sam Gambles, dude, bunch of great dudes out there. Guys, pick your dude, right? And it's always like, hey, there's the light at the end of the tunnel. Like there's a means to an end. We're building. And then when you're in the thick of it, you're adding these like brick by brick by brick, and it feels like forever until you like look back on 5 years, 10 years, 15 years worth of work maybe, and it's starting to build into something productive, something established, something that you can be proud of, and also your team can be proud of. That was something that I was going to just kick it right back to you, Kory. I wanted to ask, Perficut's lawn, landscape, snow, Ballard Products, aftermarket products, accessories, blades, oils. Literally, I think there's something for everyone on the website, no doubt about it. If you go on there, it's like the Amazon of lawn care, okay? You're going to, especially if they had Prime, like you guys would be in trouble. I'm always in trouble. I'm always buying crap. Ready Rolls are our go-to. I'm on there once every 2 months. My guys love that product. We picking up the new engine oils, blades, of course. Trying to think what else. A couple super jacks along the way. One thing I was going to ask you just for a minute or two was, what's it like comparing and contrasting, Perficut, you got 200 people coming in, semi-autonomous business, layers of management. And then you got, like you said, your ragtag, quote unquote, team of guys and gals. There's 10 of you, 12 of you that show up and you're like, all right, like everybody's wearing 3 roles and 3 hats. Like, let's go. And again, the other one's more manufacturing distribution. So how has that been like? In one element, you're like the big fish, you and Matt, and then the other one is, well, yeah, you're still the owner, but like you're picking up the phone, working customer service, packing a box that day. Like you're not above any role, I would imagine, and I believe. So what's that like, compared and contrast? How's that going for you guys, I guess?
Yeah, it's just a little different. I love this type of business because I think maybe I did the other one so long that, what I love about the e-commerce business is that, we sell stuff, 365, 24/7, rain or shine, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, 4th of July, it doesn't matter. And so I like that piece of the business. And I like that, I can be anywhere with a laptop and still be in tune. Our customers don't know if I'm at the racetrack, sitting in my motorhome, or if I'm in the office. The old fashioned, go out, cut a yard, bill somebody $55, put a tree in the ground, whatever those services are. This business is just a little different, and instead of having all the equipment, trucks, trailers, mowers, skid loaders, now what we have is inventory.
Sure.
And so, now we have millions and millions of dollars of inventory. And so it's just a different type of business. But at the end of the day, it really goes back to, customer service. We have to take care of our customers. We have to provide a value. We have to provide products that people need. And so we work incredibly hard to take care of our customers. And, we don't always get it right, but I think my team does a really good job. I preach and preach and preach. Just take care of our customers. If somebody, even if they installed something wrong and screwed it up and it doesn't work, just send them a replacement, because you know what? So it costs us $75 to send them a replacement. Or they go on some, Facebook group and they say Ballard Products sucks, and they sent me, their product sucks, and they don't take care of their customers. And so I've really just focused on, let's take care of our customers. And that was always our focus at Perficut. It was never, let's get rich, let's make a bunch of money. It was, let's take care of our customers. And then the rest of the things kind of start to take care of themselves. And, when you had Matt on, he talked, he never mentioned, let's make a bunch of money, right? He mentioned the whole process of what we do. And that's the same thing here. And when I talk to people about their business, I always ask them why. And it's like, if you're just trying to get rich, man, maybe if you're not passionate about what you do and you're only doing it for the money, I just think you might be doing it for the wrong reasons. And my number one thing when people ask me is consistency. Whether you want to run a great business, you want to be in shape or healthy, you want to be a great father, a great husband, a great friend. I mean, it's just consistency. You got to freaking show up every day for a long time. And if you want to build a great business, my people here know that, man, I'm not above boxing up something. I'm in here every day grinding it out with them. When we get in our new facility, it might feel a little bit different because it's going to be a little more separated right now. It's kind of everybody's kind of running into each other. And to your point, we're all wearing a lot of hats. So we're really working on right now kind of role definition. What's everybody's roles, responsibilities? What's the org chart look like? And then some of my people are even just saying, hey, what's the future look like for me? And so in the beginning, it was all kind of fun and games, right? And now it's starting to become one of those things where everyone's got 401k, everyone's got health care. But as we hire new people, and as some of my people have been with me a while, now they're starting to say, like, what's my future look like? And so now we're starting to have to tackle some of the same things we tackled at Perficut, which was, how do we keep these A players? How do I make sure that they understand that there's a future here for them at Ballard Products, and that they can not only make a great, salary, great income, but that there's opportunity. And that's what most people want. They certainly want to make a good income, but what they want to know that there's opportunity for them. And so that's what we've been working on a lot. We've actually been meeting with some of our team and saying, what do you want from us? Where do you see yourself in, 2 years, 5 years? And then asking that question that I really like that Leroy always brings up is, what would it take for you to leave? That's a really interesting question to ask somebody. What would it take for you to leave? And then you got to just sit there and not say anything and just look at them.
Yeah.
Because then it puts them in a weird spot. But I want to know what it would take for somebody to leave our company, and then how can I make sure that we don't allow that to happen, right? Especially if they're an A player. And at this point, we only have A players because we're a small team, and I'm not going to allow somebody who's not an A player to be a part of this. We're too small to have, any sort of cancer in our culture or small company, because it could really, it really brings a small team down. But yeah, just so anybody listen to that, if you have somebody that's an A player, man, just ask them. Make sure you're communicating with them about where they're going to be in the future, but ask them what it would take for them to leave. And if it's 50 cents an hour or $1 an hour, then you better work on. You've got a problem. You got to work on something. If somebody said to me, $2 an hour more, and I'm like, oh, that's what it would take for you to leave, then we've got a situation here that I've got to address.
That's right. Yeah, that makes sense. How are you navigating, like, painting the vision, painting the dream for the guys over the next couple of years? With, I'm sure that new facility gives people a big opportunity to grow into. And maybe this is, an extended conversation that we could do for a whole nother podcast, but we just spent a bunch of time on vision casting, mission statements, and core values. And what a tremendous exercise that was for us. And gosh, I should have done that 10 years ago, but it is what it is. Here we are. We started to add some people lately, and it really is giving us a true north for our company. So do you feel like more people can spend more time in that, or people don't spend enough time in that, I guess in that regard?
Yeah, I think owners a lot of times maybe have a vision for what they see. Actually, a lot of owners don't, and I really wish that they would. They would say, here's where I am today. Here's where I'd like to be in the next 12, 24, 36 months. Here's what it would take to get me there. And then sharing that same message with their people, talking to them, being honest, talking to them about the numbers. A little bit of, hey guys, we had a great year. Maybe we had a bad year. We didn't have any snow, and that's going to force us to go into, Q2 maybe a little bit down. So we really got to have a strong spring, and we're working on pricing. We're working on some training. We're looking at getting some new equipment. I think people just assume that people know. I think the biggest problem most business owners have is just a lack of communication and the fear of having tough conversations, and, just really communicating where they're at. I'm really good at keeping my team fired up. I mean, they're excited about the future because I'm excited about the future, and I share it nonstop. I'm like, guys, I just was in there talking to them. I'm like, man, we got all these new products in the works. We're going to kill it with this one. This one's going to be amazing. Like, everyone's excited. They're like high-fiving. I'm like, everyone's just pumped up.
That's
I want to keep my team like super excited. And if I'm just keeping it a secret on what we're working on, that's not fun. I want everybody to feel like they're a part of this. Anytime we get a new product and I start naming it, I'll say, hey guys, I'm going to name it this. What's everybody think? Everybody throw out a product name that you think might fit.
Right.
Like, I'm getting them involved a little bit. And there's been numerous products that somebody else has named. They've like, this one, what if it was called this? And I'm like, shit, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, dude,
I like it. Let's go.
How do you know if you don't work together as a team? I mean, a lot of our core principles and values and all that mess came from, of course, the guys contributing. And there's so much there that if you guys missed those couple episodes we did a week or two ago, I thought they were really insightful and create a lot of buy-in and and so much more, a lot of intrinsics, for our company. So, dude, that's freaking awesome. And I'm just excited to see you guys grow company number 2. Anybody who says, oh, they got lucky with Perficut, the 90s were blowing up, it's going to be like, hey, Nimrod, like, watch them do it again and stamp out another, 8-figure business in, a decade. And you know what? Like, success leaves clues. Isn't that what they always say? So I'm just
Absolutely
pumped up for you guys for it up. I'm going to try to get out there later this summer. I know that once the new place is done, a couple of your peers out that way have new shops. It seems like a growing market, growing area, man. I actually got to get running though. You guys know we try to be very respectful of people's times. Kory's a busy man. I only tried to chisel out a half hour from his schedule. Kory, I know you put out a ton of great info out there. Where can people find you? What's some of your best places for people for the advice that you guys are always sharing? I know you got a plethora out there. Where can people find you if they want to go down the rabbit hole? All things Kory Ballard and all things Perficut, all things Ballard Products.
Yeah. So, obviously, if you're interested in any products, just jump on the Ballard website. It's just ballard-inc.com. We have the Green Grind podcast that drops every Tuesday. We've been really trying to get good guests on there, and I think our listeners like the how genuine that podcast is. We're obviously on Facebook, Instagram. If you want to check out Perficut, which I think is pretty inspiring for a lot of people, it's perficut.com. And we showcase our team. We have a really good hiring page on there as well. We showcase certain projects. So if you're thinking about building a website, I always just go to other people's websites. Right. And I want to see I like this piece of their website. I like that piece of their website. And so, yeah, anywhere on social media, you can find us. And we certainly appreciate all you do for us, Brian. We definitely got to get you out. You're going to be coming out probably June or July, hopefully, and showcase the new facility. And we'll also, by then, we'll have a bunch of the new products available, and we'll show some people what we're working on. And we're excited about where we're going. And like I said, I'm slowing down a little bit just in the way we're bringing new products to market, because it's again, I'm making sure we get it right. We're a little too big now to just wing it. So we're, Austin and I are working on several new products right now that are so close to being ready to launch. And there's just a couple little kinks in them that I don't love. And as much as I'd love to have them on the website today, I'm like, you know what? Let's just get it right. Let's get one more prototype. Let's test it one more time. And, because I don't want to sell something that I'm not proud of. And I've done that a couple times, and I always regret it. So we're excited for what's going on. And again, we appreciate all the guys that use your code, and we appreciate you, Brian, spreading the word. And anytime we can throw out, your podcast, and of course the LAL that you just put on, and all the stuff that you guys do it's just good for the industry. I
appreciate that, man. Yeah. And back at you. It's always cool. Like you said, rising tide raises all ships, and seeing everybody win together, man, it gets me fired up. And like I said, at the top of the show, if I'm ever having a bad day, I just think, hey, what would Kory Ballard do? KBD, what? We'll get that on a wristband. Usually it's slam a monster. Let's get back at it, man. And
I just say, just crush a monster and get going. Quit crying. Let's go.
I love it, man. I love it. Every time I go there, I see more pop cans and or energy drink cans at Ballard Products than I see at damn Costco, man. It's hilarious. So you guys got it going on over there, man. And it's like, what's the secret to keeping good company morale? Give them endless energy drinks and bloodshot eyes, man. So it's a dilated pupils.
Yeah. If you saw our fridge, it's stocked. I mean, we supply free Monster to the entire team. It is stocked top to bottom in our fridge. That's just something we do. And I love every once in a while I look at the bill. I'm like, God, we spent a lot of money on energy drinks, but you know what? It is what it is. Our team loves it, and that's what we do.
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys listening in. Brian's 10 Ballard Products website, ballard-inc.com. Get your blades, your oils, your Catch Pros, anything that you guys need. They got a bunch of great accessories too, like little nuanced niche items too, like light bars, gloves, a little bit of everything. That's where one of our one-stop shops go, especially when we need things in a jiff and can get it in a couple days and don't have to go down to the dealer or something like that, just for time-wise. So it's actually really convenient in that regard too. So that's what we got for you guys on today's podcast episode. I always love getting a little pulse of the industry and the spring rush update from Kory. So check out everything they got going on, guys. And that's what we got for you on today's episode. You guys appreciate you listening in. Have a great rest of the day. And we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Exmark mowers are known for their signature cut quality, legendary dependability, and an operator experience unlike any other. Because if something's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Don't miss out on limited time savings going on now at your local dealer.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.